Jacksonville Speedway's promoter addresses their sprint car crash issues from this past weekend. We'll talk Anthony Macri season to date, Sunday race results, and just why that engine in Bobby Pierce's car is so crooked. Let's go. It's Monday, September 15th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. If you want to make sure you are always in the dirt racing loop, up on the latest news, results, and chatter, hit that subscribe button on YouTube or the podcast places. You can also like and follow DIRTRACKR on Facebook. That will make sure you never miss a fresh daily show. Video versions of the daily are posted 5 days a week to YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify. You can also listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and at DIRTRACKR.com. Full show transcripts are also available at DIRTRACKR.com/daily if you'd like to read the show or if you know someone who is hard of hearing and would like to tune in anyway. Everything I've just mentioned here, free to do. The daily shows are always free to watch and listen to. The next milestone we're trying to reach is 50,000 subscribers on YouTube and 50,000 followers on Facebook. I had one of my industry friends alert me in recent days to a Facebook reel that Bobby Pierce posted last week. In the reel, Pierce is going over his upcoming dirt late model schedule as he shows video of his team wrapping their World 100 car. There are various camera angles of the wrapping installed, but there is one from a bit higher up that looks down into the engine compartment that my industry friend thought I might find interesting. And this friend was correct. From the camera shot, you can see a cool overhead view of the front of the car, and in the engine compartment, you can see what looks like a Vic Hill power plant bolted between the frame rails. As you might notice, though, that engine is mounted all sorts of crooked in that car. We've talked plenty on this show about dirt late model construction, including wild shock packages and twisted up bodies, but there are interesting things to notice all over these cars. So why is this engine mounted this way? Well, it's actually for a few reasons. And I know I'm going to get comments from people who will say, everybody knows this, or this is obvious, or whatever. I don't care. I think it's cool, and I wanted to share. Anyway, why are they doing this? The main thing here is teams putting these cars together as if they were running on the racetrack. You might hear this referred to as at attitude or at ride heights. Basically, when this car is going around the track at speed, the position it gets itself into. It's possible you've seen photos of dirt late models on pull-down rigs or sitting in the shop with suspensions compressed like they're mid-corner at Eldora. Right side all smashed down with the left rear pushed up in the air. When Pierce's car is in that position, suddenly that crooked mounted engine wouldn't look so crooked anymore. Asking a few of my very helpful dirt late model friends, this helps with getting maximum flow through the carburetor because they like to be level for best air and fuel flow. It also keeps the drivetrain happy and not all bound up. Drivelines and U-joints work better when they're not going at weird angles coming from the transmission into rear ends. One friend actually called it driveline efficiency, making sure the car is getting as much horsepower and torque as possible through all of that assembly. This final photo show you a little bit of a different angle with the late model with that same crooked engine setup if you want to kind of get a closer look at it. But it doesn't matter what the car looks like or does sitting in the shop or in the pits. It matters what it does going around at speed. Thanks to my dirt late model friends for answering my stupid questions. This has been your Dirt Late Model Tech Minute. Updating the Jacksonville Speedway situation, which we talked about on the Sunday Daily Show, track promoter Kenny Dobson released a very lengthy statement today. You can see it on the screen if you're watching. I'm not going to read all of it, but talking about what they're going to do about what happened. And as you can see, the text on your screen is really small. If you want to see it for yourself, it's actually available over on the Jacksonville Speedway Facebook page. You can go through the whole thing. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, over the weekend, Kevin Newton crashed at the track during the MOA Sprint Car feature, and track officials didn't throw a red or a yellow for the incident until something like 3 laps later. There was a video floating around online of track announcer Tommy Cook frantically calling out on the track PA system for officials to do something. And it was all broadcast live on Dirt Vision. Dobson put the blame on himself for not being in his usual spot in the grandstands to help track officials spot incidents. He said backs were turned to where the crash happened and that usually he's there to be the eyes from outside the track. And if you're not aware, Jacksonville's flag stand is in the infield. Dobson also shared, quote, "No doubt we all could have done something a little different, and we have internally taken many steps over the past few days to prevent this type of situation from happening again. I've spoken to our team and all drivers alike, identifying what contributed and how to put a process in place to create more eyes and voices, more specific area responsibility, and most importantly, for those who have no responsibility for officiating a race to know that they are empowered to use their radio for any red flag or potentially dangerous situation we need to be aware of," unquote. It's obviously good to hear that changes are being made so that this won't happen again in the future. What I will say too is if any Tracker Series folks are watching this right now or listening, use these moments to go back through your own procedures. Are you sure this can't happen with your races? Motorsports are usually horribly reactive to safety situations instead of being proactive, but when bad things happen elsewhere, it can be a learning experience for everyone. Kudos to Kenny Dobson for owning it, and hopefully others can learn from what happened. At Sealands Grove last night, it was Anthony Macri picking up the $15,000 Jim Nace Memorial. He went third to the win over Danny Dietrich and Brock Zierfoss. A solid 26-car field. Looked like they had a solid crowd there as well. Macri now with 14 wins on the season, which is just one less than he had last year. He's still 9 wins shy, though, of his career best in that category, which came during that incredible 2022 season. I think comparing 2025, though, to 2022 brings up an interesting discussion. 23 wins and 71 top 10s in 93 starts that year, and about $413,000 in season earnings. I think there's an argument to be made, though, that this year has been better, even with less wins. Winning $200,000 at the Kings Royal back in July has pushed his money he's made this year up to $517,000. That's more than $100K above that 2022 season, which was his career best. He's also won 4 times on national tours. That's also a career best. That's included 3 wins with the World of Outlaws and 1 with High Limit. And to be fair, Macri's year, it's not done. He'll still likely run probably 15-ish more races this season, maybe a few more, maybe a few less, depending on weather. He'll be a threat at some more high-limit races. I think he's going to be a factor at the National Open at Williams Grove, and there are plenty of other winnable races coming up. I'm sure he and crew chief Joe Mooney would like to be a bit more consistent, and I'm sure they think some of these podiums they've had this year could have been wins, but it's hard to argue with a Kings Royal title and a career high in money won with lots of racing still left to go. With the Fast Series, Tyler Gunn was a Sunday winner at Knox Raceway. He topped Jeremy Cornbaugh and Bob Felmley. I don't know where we are with the Fast points right now because they haven't been updated since August 18th. The Fast Series has run 4 times since then, so it's possible Ricky Peterson is still the championship leader, but maybe he isn't. Just 1 race left for Fast, an October 4th stop at Atomic Speedway. In Sunday Dirt late model action, Dylan Schmier grabbed the best paying IMCA late model win of the year, bagging $8,500 in a rain-shortened race at Boone County Raceway. The feature was called after just 14 of 35 laps were completed. The race was actually halted for a crash, but then never restarted because of the weather that was closing in. And at Quincy, Tony Jackson Jr. handled the Mars field for a $5,000 score, topping Jason Fager and Ryan Unzicker. Fager with a solid lead in that Mars championship with 7 races still left. He's had 8 wins and 24 top 10s in 26 starts this season. Mars back at it again on Friday at the Brownstown Bull Ring. That's the show for today. Don't forget, if you want even more dirt racing content, you can follow Dirt Tracker across social media. That means Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and more. Wherever you are, so is Dirt Tracker. Just open up the search bar and search DIRTRACKR. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day out there. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.